Did you actually believe you could defeat Atlas? I am all robot, and you are only human.
Hey, hello, how do you do? Shady Doorags here. Obviously, I was gonna make another Teen Titans video for you intellectuals. After all, I am very passionate about this show and the superhero genre in general. I mean, it certainly helps that the video I did on Robin pulled in very juicy numbers. But guys, come on, we all know I'm doing this for the art. Please watch this video. It's January, I'm desperate for views, and taxes are coming up soon. Today we're looking at the episode Only Human. I had two goals when deciding which episode to review next. Firstly, I wanted one that focused on a Titan that wasn't Robin, so I could eventually hit everyone on the team. Next, just like my last Teen Titans video, I wanted one that stuck with me in terms of morals, and yeah, if the quest didn't exist, this episode would definitely be the one that impacted me the most after watching it. The episode starts with the Titans training. Each one is doing something appropriate to their role in combat. It can be easy to underestimate the value of little moments like these and the details they bring. Simply seeing the Titans train answers various questions that would inevitably come up. Eventually, the others notice that Cyborg is struggling with his weights and come to cheer him on.
Punch it, Cy! Straight through the roof!
Yes, inform that large mass of metal who is the boss.
I know I'm not a people person, but even I can appreciate genuinely good friendship when I see it.
It's no good! Shut it down!
No way, Cyborg! I won't let you quit!
I know I'm rather challenged in the physically fit department, but isn't it incredibly dangerous to not turn the machine off? The other Titans are basically his spotters at this point, and Cyborg is asking for help but is not in a safe position should he fail to lift that thing. Despite his friends believing in him, Cyborg doesn't manage to get the weights up and has to dive for safety. The other Titans just see this as a regular exercise failure, but for Cyborg, it hurts a lot more. Noticing how upset his friend was, Robin goes to chat about what happened.
I was just trying to get you to kick it up a notch.
I don't have another notch!
When I was an athlete, when I was human, I loved pushing my limits. My muscles are mechanical now. Limits are built in.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Aren't all humans technically limited? The only reason people can get stronger and faster is because they haven't reached their maximum potential, something very few actually manage to do in their lives. Cyborg's no more limited than a human, he's just reached his maximum potential. We weren't thinking that at all. Yeah, we just feel sorry for Cyborg. Oh. In the next scene, we see Cyborg venting his frustration via video games. Because his friends are his friends, they each try to cheer him up.
I offer a traditional Tamaranian folk song.
Okay, dude. Keep your eye on the cookie.
Again, I gotta harp on the fact that these friends act like friends. It's difficult for them to just sit back and watch when their teammate is struggling. Even Raven joins in. She's awful at the stuff she's doing, but the fact that she tries means something. I think I've just been exposed to too many shows and movies of friends being awful to each other, either for humor reasons or because Hollywood doesn't know what genuinely caring for someone looks like. And yeah, this is normally the part where I say this is a problem with modern media, but to be honest, even my generation had its fair share of toxic friendships. The team, at Robin's advice, inevitably decide to give Cyborg some space and leave him to his game.
At least I can still push myself in cyberspace.
Atlas, I just kicked your virtual butt.
No one defeats Atlas. I demand a rematch.
Wait a second, I know that voice.
How about here and now?
Why on earth would you do that to the TV? It was innocent.
Atlas is ready. Let the rematch begin.
Yep, I definitely know that voice, no doubt about it. The person playing Atlas is Keith David. Yep, that was definitely what I was planning on saying the whole time. I didn't make a mistake. Ron Perlman plays Slade. You think I, a cartoon reviewer, would mistake the legendary voice of Goliath for someone else? I know every actor who's ever voiced every cartoon character ever.
That's a fact.
Atlas, being the sore loser that he is, demands Cyborg fight him in a real match because apparently when someone beats you in something, beating them at something else they might not be as good at proves you're superior. The other Titans see the fight and of course go to help.
Sorry folks, can't let you interrupt the master. This match is one-on-one.
Okay, firstly, I love that the Titans have absolutely no time for someone getting in their way when they're about to help their friend. Second, John DiMaggio is in a Teen Titans episode about robot fights and he isn't playing one of the robots?
Now that is irony!
The Titans, minus Cyborg, begin to dogpile on Atlas. Atlas, however, is unfazed by their attacks.
Humans provide no challenge.
Excuse me, sir, but these are the Teen Titans you're talking to. Starfire is a lot stronger than she looks, and Raven could literally take you apart with just a thought. Atlas has his mechanic, whose name is apparently Spike, but I'm not calling him that, load his weaponry, and with his new cannon, he captures the non-robotic Titans to keep his trophies. Okay, this episode is really asking a lot for my suspension of disbelief. I'm supposed to believe that one robot not only took down 4 Titans, but did so this easily? The only one left standing is Cyborg, who threatens Atlas with his sonic cannon. Atlas, for reasons I'm sure have nothing to do with the theme, demands that Cyborg meet him later for a weaponless and teamless fight so they can settle who's the best. Both Cyborg and Atlas get ready for round 2. Wait, if the video game was round 1, then I guess this would be round 3. But the video game itself had 3 rounds, so technically...
Now remember, that Cyborg's got a decent left hook, so keep an eye out for...
Never tell me what to do.
So, in case you couldn't tell, Atlas doesn't like nor respect humans. He doesn't find 4 of the Titans a challenge because they're humans, even though Starfire is a Tamaranian, Raven is a half-demon, and Beast Boy can turn into a lot of not-humans himself. Atlas disrespects his mechanic because he's also human, and when Cyborg shows up, he immediately mocks the human half of him.
Humans scare so easily.
I'm only half human.
And half of nothing is still nothing.
This behavior of human hating sets up 2 things. First, it lets the Titans know where Atlas stands with his mechanics, which will be used later. Second is that this hostility towards humans gets to Cyborg. This is actually something the episode does very subtly. Atlas tries to get in Cyborg's head by insulting his humanity, and he succeeds, but not in the way he wanted to. Keep that in mind as the episode goes on. So Cyborg and Atlas go at it once again. As they do, Robin reminds the audience that he's Batman's protege and starts to play mind games.
You respect Atlas. Does he respect you?
Quiet, human!
The fight between Atlas and Cyborg goes on for a few minutes, with the combatants wearing each other down. Cyborg, once again, finds himself at the mercy of his limitations.
It seems you have reached your limit, but Atlas has power to spare.
With no more spare power, Cyborg admits defeat.
Fine. You win. Now let my friends go.
Your friends will remain as my trophies, and there is nothing you can do about it.
Wow, a sore loser and a sore winner. Dude, you know those trophies require food, water, and as Raven points out, bathroom breaks, right? Cyborg's friends plead for him to get back up and keep fighting, as their freedom is now on the line. But Cyborg doesn't see the point since he's already at his limit. Having lost the fight and his friends, this makes him a friendless loser, and Cyborg does what all friendless losers do. He starts talking to himself.
So that's it, man? You're just gonna give up? What else can I do?
Notice the angles of the cinematography. When the real Cyborg speaks, they place him on the left with his robotic face in the center of the shot. When his reflection speaks, it's on the right and only the human half of his face is visible. What's happening here is Cyborg's human spirit is prepping him up for doing what needs to be done. You could say that rather than this being a conversation with himself, it's actually one between Victor and Cyborg. Cyborg explains that there's nothing he can do to save his friends. Atlas is physically better than him in every way. He's just a better robot. Victor, however, explains how limited that perspective is.
But you aren't all robot.
Remember what I said about Atlas getting into Cyborg's head but not in the way he wanted? Cyborg started this episode longing for the days when he was still fully human. Atlas's constant berating of humans subconsciously made Cyborg devalue his human half. This is why when Atlas says,
"Humans scare so easily,"
Cyborg responds with,
I'm only half human.
Atlas convinced him his human half was weak and not necessary for the fight. But in reality, Cyborg's advantage against Atlas is the part of him he's been ignoring.
Half of you is human, and that's the half that can beat him.
I'm not even joking, guys. I've seen this episode countless times over the years, and only now, while writing this script, do I realize that the 50% on the screen is supposed to be a metaphor. Cyborg was relying on his robot self, but that's only half of who he is, only 50%. If he truly wants to give 100%, he needs to use his whole self.
Time to take it up a notch.
Back at the stadium, Robin continues to play Divide and Conquer.
Atlas is the greatest.
If Atlas is so great, why does he treat you like a loser?
This is cold, human. Bring me warm oil.
Get it yourself.
Before the mechanic gets killed, Cyborg shows up and identifies himself as human, signifying his acceptance of himself. Why are people so mean to TVs in this show? While Cyborg battles, Robin puts the final push into the mechanic.
He doesn't respect you. He doesn't even like you.
I have no choice. Atlas is stronger than me.
No, he isn't. Atlas needs you.
Mechanic, concussion blaster, heat cannon, now!
No.
The mechanic lets the other Titans go, who make sure Atlas can't run. The thing is, none of the Titans ever stopped believing in Cyborg. They still think he can win this, they just want to make sure he gets his chance.
It's just you and me.
What are y'all cracking? Y'all are made of metal. And now the bookend of the episode. Once again, Cyborg is struggling at a test of strength, his friends are cheering him on, and his monitor tells him he's at his limit. And we get one of my all-time favorite moments in this show.
You have reached your limit. You cannot win.
Yes, I can!
Holy dongles, my testosterone flares up every time I hear Cyborg shout that. Carrie Payton, the voice actor of Cyborg, absolutely nails the read on that line.
You are a better robot.
No, I'm a better person.
The Titans are reunited, and Robin, why are you making that face? Are you jealous? And we end the episode on an insanely good quote.
My body may have its limitations, but if I put my mind to it, there's no limit to what I can do. After all, I'm only human.
And that was Only Human, my favorite cyborg-focused episode of Teen Titans. Admittedly, similar to The Quest, I'm noticing a lot of flaws that flew over my head as a kid. I feel like that might become a pattern with this show. It's really difficult to believe Atlas and the Mechanic defeated every single Titan, and 4 of them weren't even a challenge. Even Blackfire and Terra couldn't do that. Canonically, these two together are on the same level as Slade and Trigon, and yeah, I just ain't buying that. Also, as much as I love Cyborg's triumphant moment, it's a bit underexplained, which if you know this show, you know that's not a unique thing for Cyborg-focused episodes. Cyborg specifically says his body is limited, but his mind can allow him to accomplish any goal. But he didn't use his mind to defeat Atlas, he used his body. You could say that technically him believing in himself is him using his mind, but I think that's a stretch. It would have made more sense if Cyborg somehow outsmarted Atlas or found a way past his limitations instead of simply pushing through them. Fighting isn't just strength and speed, it's also technique, something Cyborg could have had an advantage over. However, no matter how many criticisms I find with this episode, they cannot erase the love I have for it. When all is said and done, I know what the episode's lesson is, and no matter its faults, the execution did work on me. Normally, I hate the little engine that could stories because believing in yourself is just the first step to success, not the only step. But for some reason, Cyborg's hour of triumph really speaks to me. That moment, that yes I can moment, perfectly captures anyone who's ever been in a struggle, and during it they realize they were their own barrier. Pushing past limitations and overcoming hurdles, humans have been doing that since forever, but it doesn't happen if you don't think it's possible, because when you believe something is impossible for you to do, you act how you believe and it becomes your reality. I'm not saying that all it takes is for you to say, I think I can, and suddenly all your goals will be accomplished. But what I am saying is, as cliche as it might sound, sometimes the only thing stopping you from succeeding is your belief in yourself. This has been Shady Doorags. So long, farewell, and Auf Wiedersehen. Goodbye.